Good morning and welcome to Lauren DeLaguna, and welcome to our morning show that we don't quite have a name yet for, but we've heard some suggestions. I heard Lauren in the morning. I kind of like it. We'll think on it for a little bit, but we need some more name suggestions. Good morning, EP Cope and Dog. I hope we can get through the slow news day today. Yeah, well, we actually have some good stories coming up. Yeah, we've prepped a couple, and they're not that slow. It's actually somewhat interesting. Hey, Mom, what is up? Your mom, and how are you? Okay, let's get started with we are going to start with Andrew Tate. He is back in trouble, and good morning, everyone, as people are trickling in. So let me go ahead and start off with this. It's going to be a short video explaining what happened to Andrew Tate. Let me share my screen really quick. Boop, boop, boop. Share screen. There you go.
And pretty wild. So recently, Andrew and Tristan Tate had a court meeting and they were cross-examined, and the results of that are very weird. Tristan Tate tweeted out saying, "They charged me yesterday with inciting violence towards others. I thought I was a human trafficker. Where's the evidence for that?" Oh yeah, that's right. They don't have any, so they make something else up. Don't show the world why I'm guilty of any of these things. Just make up new crimes and don't explain any of them. What's next? Bank robbery? Fraud? Embarrassing. Now, this is actually wild because recently they also had a court meeting about the whole criminal investigation ending. The Tate brothers' request to end the criminal investigation was postponed by a judge, which is also very recent. Recently, DCOT HQ notified Tristan Tate about new false accusations. Do not believe any of these things they say. Tristan Tate is an innocent man. Now, this is super weird because it seems like they're just trying to keep him in prison or under arrest as long as it takes. You know, it's completely embarrassing in my opinion. But yeah, guys, a lot of news soon. So yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe with notifications so you don't miss out. But yeah, that's it, and I'm out.
Thought it was interesting. It was basically a summarization of the tweet and then also slightly what is happening to Andrew and his brother. Yeah, it's I don't know why they're still in Romania. Clearly they're not getting treated well there, so I'd probably leave. But then again, America is also kind of whack with its justice system right now. I don't know. It's a tough decision there. I never really thought Andrew Tate was guilty to begin with in the first place with any of the human trafficking. So, but I also don't think it's very smart to tweet about your legal opinions. Hey, Boots. Hope you're having a great morning. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you. Good to see you, Eric and Adam and your mom. It's always lovely to see you. Let's head over. So I'm going to go to, all right. So the next one is really interesting. This is a story about a doctor. And the first one is going to be a video, and then we're going to start getting into more articles. But this one is going to be a doctor, and he's going to be talking about what he's noticed in terms of birthing rates in children, or like not in children, sorry, how successful births are and after COVID. So it should be really, I'm pretty sure there's been an uptick from my understanding in like stillbirths and all sorts of issues. So, yeah, I think we're starting here. Okay, and let's play this guy.
The website for it, so you can find that out for yourself. So let's dive straight into this data now. Now, number of births, not really that much different in Lanarkshire, where the Freedom of Information applies. So roughly the same. Statistically, I would say they're fairly similar, perhaps slightly reductions in 2022. Stillbirths, though, so 2018 there was 14, 2019 there was 14. Went up in 2020, and that was somewhat increased in 2021 and 2022. Now, I know these are relatively small samples sizes, but we are dealing with a limited section of the country. But I think we are getting some statistically significant data from this. Let's look at neonatal deaths now. Here's neonatal deaths up to 28 days. So 6 in 2018, 6 in 2019, 5 in 2020. But significantly increased. So it's more than doubled in, pretty well doubled in 2021 and trebled in 2022. Now, of course, important to realize that this was a pandemic year here. But this was before we started vaccinations. And then vaccinations were started here in these vaccinations applied in these 2 years. More on that in a minute. Preterm births, again, number of neonatal births less than 37 weeks, not really a significant difference, I don't think, in that data there. Early pregnancy losses, miscarriage or ectopic pregnancies. Well, pretty stable in 18, 19, 20 in the pandemic years, up a bit in 2021, but up really quite markedly in 2022.
That's really
and as we see, double what it was in 2018. Of course, that was the pandemic year there. 2021, of course, we were vaccinating. 2022, we were vaccinating. But of course, and this is the thing that's concerning me, obviously, most of the babies that were born in 2022 were conceived and were undergoing their fetal development in 2021. So quite what is the relationship with vaccination, if any?
Yeah.
Well, the Freedom of Information request, and I quote directly from the Freedom of Information request here. I regret to advise that I am unable to provide you with details of COVID-19 vaccination status for 2021 and 2022, as this information is not centrally recorded. Now, we were promised full post-marketing surveillance on COVID vaccinations. And I would have thought that would include early life and reproductive data.
Absolutely.
Well, silly me, eh? Because it's not recorded, at least in Lancashire. Now, is it recorded in other parts of the country? Well, if it is, it's not released yet. I would have thought this was absolutely fundamental.
Wow, that's really unbelievably upsetting. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, yes, boots, it doubled, which is just unbelievable. Very sad. It is good morning, Callie Nuts. Good morning. I think I saw somebody saying good morning from Rachel's Ghost. Hey, John D. For those of you who don't know, Rachel's Ghost is a vinyl album collection YouTube channel, and they sent a ton of subs my way. And very nice people over there. Not really a drama community at all. A bunch of nice people who get along and talk about music. And yeah, so definitely check that out. And they start at 6 a.m., so right after this program. Hey, President Trump, how are you? Hope you are well. Watching babies. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that the last part is nice, but yeah, the baby's dying part, less nice. So very sad. Hey, President Trump. I personally didn't get vaccinated because that was something that I was concerned about. I wasn't seeing any data for that, and that was important for me because I do want to have kids. And so, and I know miscarriages are more likely the older you are, and I see that I am not a young lady anymore. So, yeah, I'm doing everything I can to protect my future baby. So, I'm very sad for those women who lost their kids. So they really didn't deserve it because they were not given enough warning about the risks of the vaccine, and they were told they were safe and effective. So, you know, it'd be how it be. It's pretty sad. Okay, so we have a president of the Peruvian president, former Peruvian president, has been extradited. And we have a Reuters article for that. So I'm going to go Reuters, whatever. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to post it here. And let me go ahead and grab that. Boop, boop, boop. I got a text from somebody I know is watching. Ooh, okay. Well, we are totally going to plan a road trip in the future for Lauren DeLaguna, and we just confirmed that with somebody watching. Woohoo. Okay. So here, I'll show you guys this. So Perus Toledo, which is the name of the president, returns home to join 2 other former heads of state in jail. I'm going to go ahead and post this in chat. And I'm going to read. Okay. Lima, April 23rd. Former Peruvian President Alejandro Toledo returned on Sunday to Peru from the United States, becoming the 3rd head of state to be imprisoned as the South American country seeks to shake off years of corruption by its rulers. Toledo, 77, has been ordered to severe pre-trial detention of 18 months inside a police base on the outskirts of the capital of Lima, an official statement said. Former President Alberto Fujimori and Pedro Castillo are held in the same prison. Citing health issues, Toledo's lawyers told reporters that he would seek permission for him to be placed under house arrest instead. Toledo, president from 2001 and 2006, had turned himself in on Friday for extradition and arrived on Sunday morning at the airport in Lima. Peruvian authorities have accused Toledo of receiving $35 million in bribes from the Brazilian construction company Alberdecht in exchange for winning the construction of the Intercontinental Highway. Well, yeah. I mean, I wonder how often that happens, because you have people, random politicians, who get to decide who gets what construction contracts, and then I'm sure you have construction people who do construction who are like, hey, I'll give you a kickback if you hire our company. And imagine that would be a really common practice of corruption. But yeah, definitely illegal. $35 million too. Jesus, try to be a little bit more subtle. He denies the allegation of corruption by prosecutors whose charges include money laundering and collusion. They have requested a 20-year prison sentence. The extradition progress began in 2018. Toledo has been declared a fugitive in his country the previous year when he traveled to the United States amid corruption investigations against him and others. Toledo, an economist with a doctorate from Stanford University, became the 2nd former Peruvian president to be extradited. That's kind of odd that a president from another country went to Stanford, a United States college. No? Am I wrong? Would it be University of Mexico? I hear is a great school. I don't know. Okay. And he's not in Peru. I don't know what the universities are like in Peru. Okay, whatever. Fujimori was extradited from Chile and is serving a 25-year prison sentence for human rights abuses. That's the other president. Meanwhile, Castillo, the other, so there's 3 people arrested: Fujimori, Castillo, and then Toledo. Toledo is in pre-trial detention while being investigated over allegations of rebellion. That seems a little weak. After trying to illegally dissolve Congress in December. Former President Pedro Pablo Kaczynski is also being investigated in the Alberdecht case and was under house arrest while former President Alan Garcia shot himself in the head to avoid arrest in 2019 and died in hospital. Yikes. Well, that sounds no fun. Well, good morning, people. Pretty crazy story. I cannot believe at my job they almost forced, yeah, I know. Yeah. I think that you mean like your actual job and you don't mean like as president. Geez, I don't think they forced any politicians to get, but yeah, that sucks. I'm really sorry that almost forced us to get a job, so you didn't get it. That's good. Good morning, Lucifer. Rebel. Okay. Josh G. It always happens in the United States. Lots of projects could. Yeah. Yes, I bet. I bet it does. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Duchy of Duchess. Welcome to the United States news and how crazy we are. Good morning, Amba. It's always nice to see you. Let's move on to this next guy. Okay, Japanese places its self-defense forces on high alert as defense minister says that Japan could potentially shoot down the North Korean reconnaissance satellite that is expected to be launched by Pyongyang. I can never pronounce that city. If it falls in Japanese territory. Okay, let's check this out. Japan prepares to shoot down North Korean satellite if it falls on Japan. Well, that makes sense. Do we not have the full article, though? You have reached the article's limit. No. Okay, well, I'm sure we can find out more. Japan's defense minister, Yakuzari Hamad, on Saturday ordered the country's military to prepare to shoot down a North Korea spy satellite should fall within Japan's territory. So that's all I'm able to get from this article because we've reached our limit. Maybe we should start buying subscriptions to certain news sites like Reuters, and there was another one. So if you guys have, good morning. So if you guys have any news suggestions that you want us, like any news companies that you want us to use, please email Henry. And then also help us out with paying for the subscription if you want. We have Super Chat, we have PayPal as well in our About link. Do you get to keep the majority of the donations you get? Unk says that YouTube takes 30%. So yeah, if you go through Super Chat, YouTube takes 30%. So like this, I get most of it, but YouTube takes 30%. And then we also have PayPal that is attached to it's on our About page, and I'm pretty sure we get nearly 100% of that. So if you're worried about the 30% donation thing, yeah. Okay, cool. Pay for the subscriptions. I know I will pay for the subscriptions but I don't know which news or which channels I should use. Should we have a subscription to Reuters? Do you recommend that? The North Korea military is still stuck in the 80s and 90s. I'm sure it's easy to deal with it for Japan. Yeah, I agree. I doubt they'll even be able to get a satellite into space, let alone worry about having to shoot it down. But and Rebel wants to buy some weed, so if anyone wants to buy him some weed, thank you. Well, I do need hairbrushes and shampoo, as you always tell me, Diane. So I haven't been able to afford it, which is why, So feel free to help me out, Diane. Okay, let's move on to the next article. This is another Reuters. So let's. I'm gonna just take the description of the story and look for it in the news. But essentially, in Jerusalem, a Palestinian man drove his car through a bunch of people. So there we go. I just found the Fox version of it, but there's many versions of it. So this is it. I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Okay. Palestinian driver rams into Jerusalem market crowd, injures 5. Thank God, only injuries. A Palestinian rammed his vehicle into a market crowd in Jerusalem on Monday, wounding 5 people before an Israeli bystander shot and killed him. Yeah, that's Israel for you. The Palestinian targeted the popular Mahane Yuda open-air market. Of those injured, the most serious was a 70-year-old man who remains in critical condition. Oh, very sad. According to the police, witnesses say the attacker attempted to put his car in reverse after plowing through the crowd, which is when the bystanders shot him. Israeli officials identified the attacker as Hatem Najima, 39, a married father of 5, who lives in East Jerusalem. Officials say Najima deliberately hit several pedestrians, some of whom were crossing the road. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he was only not prime minister for like a hot second, made a statement on the attack just minutes after he learned of it on Monday. Netanyahu was attending a ceremony for the fallen of Israel's wars at Yad Lebanim when the attack occurred. Very sad. Let me show a picture. So that's the attack scene. She's like Connie with hair. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. A few minutes ago, not far from here, there was another attempt to murder Israeli citizens. Netanyahu said the terrorist attack in this place at this time reminds us that the land of Israel and the state of Israel are acquired through many trials and tribulations. Israel has suffered frequent incidents of violence in recent weeks as the Muslim holy month of Ramadan coincided with the Jewish Passover holiday earlier this month. Militants in Gaza fired several rockets into Israel early on April 6th as the nation's Jewish population began celebrating Passover. In March, an unidentified Palestinian shot and severely wounded an Israeli-American man in the West Bank town of Hawara. The man, David Stern, is a United States Marine veteran living in Israel. He was attacked while driving a vehicle with his wife. Images from the scene show multiple gunshot impacts on the driver's side of the vehicle's windshield. This is the picture that I see. I've not seen the gunshots on the windshield. The terrorist messed with the wrong guy. Stern's brother-in-law, Shlomo Bloss, told the Tazpit press service. David is a trained professional at the highest level. He's a martial arts master. He's the guy you want beside you when you're in danger. Well, that's very cool. That he ended the danger. Sad that the danger was ever there to begin with. I'm going to skip this story, but do I want to skip it? Maybe it's interesting. I know that Bud Light sales have plummeted, and based off memes that I saw on Twitter, which is not really news, but kind of is, because you learn a lot. I think the lady who came up with that marketing campaign got fired. So, yikes. So here's the article. Boop, boop, boop. Let me go ahead and get that link for y'all, in case any of y'all want it. Yeah, Diane. Yeah, you heard Rebel. I'm Team Rebel over here, okay? If I were a fish and you caught me, you'd say, look at that fish. Yes, what a cute fish. I'm a Coors guy. Yeah, paranoid, delusional, bum. Yep. Why is your microphone so shitty? Great question. Because we are waiting in the mail. Is this better? We are waiting in the mail for an external microphone so that it could be less shitty. I'm sorry, my microphone is so shitty. Okay. Well, good morning to see y'all. You keep covering your mic with your large finger. Maybe that's what it is. Is this better? Oh I have fat fingers. Is that my problem? Lauren DeLaguna, congratulations on passing the bar. I never passed a bar in my life. Good for you, DFK. Thank you so much. Prestojorian, nice to see you all here. Yo, it's like you keep touching the mic. Maybe. Where the hell is the mic on here? Where are you, microphone? Okay, well, I'm trying not to touch nothing. Nothing! Okay. Why do you keep muffling it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Lauren, what way to strive to be less shitty? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do try. I strive, but I don't know if I succeed. So let's check out this story. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. Now that y'all got the link, go self. Okay, Bud Light suffers staggering 17% plunge amid Dylan Mulvaney controversy, and yet other brands are still hiring Dylan Mulvaney, such as Maybelline. I'm pretty sure Maybelline just hired whatever. They're like, Bud Light did such a good job with him. We should hire him too. Bud Light has suffered a staggering sales hit following the beer brand controversial marketing tie-up with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, with the latest data showing an alarming 17% drop according to the industry research. Yikes. So you guys all saw that, right, with Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney is like a transgender person, influencer. They do like the first day man girl, and I wrote a scathing email. Like the days of girlhood is their thing. They've interviewed Biden. They're super famous now for chopping, even though they haven't chopped, because they talk about how they have a bulge still. So it's like, how are you a girl? But anyway, okay. The latest data from these two companies that are hard to pronounce show Bud Light sales fell 17% in dollars, while volume dropping a whopping 21% the week that ended in April 15. That's sharply ahead of the 6% drop in sales at dollars and 11% drop in volume that Bud Light had suffered during the week that ended in April 8th. The 7 days that immediately followed the April 1st launch of the controversial Dylan Mulvaney campaign on social media. These numbers are staggering, according to the April 23 report from Insights Express, a beer-focused newsletter. Right now, this is an extremely difficult scenario for Anheuser-Busch, the Bud Light brand, and for AB distributors. Mulvaney campaign has unleashed a torrent of negative publicity for Bush, while announced Friday that, and over the weekend, that the marketing executives responsible for taping Mulvaney, right, this is what I said, Alyssa Heisch or whatever, and Daniel Blake, are taking leaves of absences. So the two women who were in charge of this campaign are now gone. Meanwhile, Bud Light's competitors are cashing in on the mess. Yeah, I bet. Bud Light lost 6.7% of market shares last week, while Coors Light and Miller Lite are up 18%, according to the newsletter. A week earlier, Coors Light market shares were up 10.6% over the same period, and Miller Lite up 11.5%. So here's a picture of the beautiful and stunning and brave Dylan Mulvaney. That's nice, nerd, for you to say. Bud Light is nothing but bottom of the barrel Budweiser. Yeah. I thought that was what Natty Light was. Only David came. Okay. Am I not allowed to beg and cry on YouTube? I want stuff. Give it to me. Okay. What am I good man? Yeah, it is, man. Okay. Let's go. Let me put this back. Boop, boop. Boop. Okay. Anheuser-Busch distributors are meeting with the company on Wednesday. Meeting of the company in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. The distributors, some of which have canceled marketing events featuring the iconic Budweiser Clydesdale horses, are looking for a much more pointed and well-developed plan on how Anheuser-Busch might stem the onslaught of negative attention and sales trends. Did you see what they tried to do? Because what they tried to do was, I'm not sure, actually, once again, I saw this in a meme. I'm not sure if this is true. I'm going to look for it. But I'm pretty sure what they tried to do was like make a billboard, like cry harder or something. And it was so bad. Is the LOL Crybabies billboard real? Are they real? So this is what I saw. I'm going to show you what I saw. Might as well. So this is what I saw. I don't know if it's true. So let's find out together, because this is like a is it true type thing. So this is what I saw. LOL Crybabies. You see, can you all see that? You see how it says LOL Crybabies? But let's see if this is real or if how it's edited. An executive at the Branded Cities advertising company, which owns the billboard, let AP know the details about what is actually going on. The fake billboard uses a blue background, which is actually used for a billboard that says all these and more only on Disney. So no, it's a fake. It's a fake. But I saw that. I was like, damn, that's pretty funny. This is why you shouldn't get your news from memes, because a lot of it will be fake. But if you do get your news from memes, that's fine. Just double check later when you're telling somebody to make sure it's accurate. So yeah, that was not how they tried to recover. Thank God, because that would not have worked out very well for them. Okay. Canceled during the NCAA basketball tournament from March 18th to April 1st. It was a clear leader of all light beers at bars and other venues, up 50%, according to Brewbound, a trade publication which cited data from Beer Board. But after the Mulvaney campaign launched, demand for Bud Light trailed other light beers by 6% at bars and restaurants. Overall, Bud Light's volume declined 34.7% at bars, restaurants, and other venues between April 2nd and April 15th, according to Beer Board. Bud Light drops to the number 4 draft beer from number 3 during the second week of the controversy, switching places with Coors Light. Alrighty. Okay. Well, I think we ate that story up. Oh yeah, and then the last story is something I'm just gonna show an minute of it because Henry really likes it. But he sent me this yesterday too. He was so enthralled, he just thought this was super interesting. But essentially, Tony Robinson and Matthew McConaughey have joined forces to sell shit. And it's resulted in I'll show you what it's resulted in. It's resulted in insanity. This is what we have now. So we have, where is the Matthew? Yeah, here we go. We have Matthew McConaughey screaming into
that we have in the red light go away. It doesn't make us belittle it or be callous to it. In a way, it can actually honor the crisis of the loss that we had in the red light. Trent knows loss. He's had major red lights in his life. But he said it, those losses are what made him listen to his heart. Rejection, loss was his protection. Green light. Amen, Trent. Thank you for that. Our next guest knows a little bit. Make that a lot of bit.
Okay, so Henry just thought that was fascinating because it was Matthew McConaughey losing his shit. I don't know if it's much news, but if you wanted to find out what Matthew McConaughey is selling, hey, fake Julia. I think this is a fake Julia. I don't think this is real Julia. Good to see ya. Yeah, I think he's done Lincoln Lawyer. Great good to see you, Mojo Doge Juniper. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Fox News. I feel like we already covered a good portion of the morning with our prepped material. So let's just check out, let's start with CNN. CNN. Let's see what they're checking out. Oh, Biden announces 2024 re-election campaign. Yikes. Y'all saw this, right? Oh, I don't think he was fired. CNN is claiming Tucker Carlson was fired. You know who was fired? Don Lemon. Don Lemon was fired from CNN. Maybe we can read about that after. I know that Tucker and Fox separated. I don't think Fox fired Tucker. I'd imagine Tucker actually left Fox. But CNN is claiming fired. The question I have been asked, I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this behind, and expect to continue to be asked more than any other after the seismic news that Fox had fired its highest rated host, Tucker Carlson, the news which rocked both media and political worlds, begs for an answer to the fundamental question. But answering it is anything but easy. In the hours following Carlson's abrupt dismissal from the right-wing channel, a number of explanations have emerged, all with plausibility. So we're guessing. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's hear all of the possible. Perhaps it was related to ex-producer Abby Grossberg's lawsuit against the network, which alleged rampant sexism and anti-Semitic behavior. Isn't like everyone there Jewish? Okay. Behavior behind the scenes at Carlson's show. Or perhaps it was profanity-laced remarks. Oh no. Some of which were redacted in the Dominion discovery documents that Carlson privately made, disparaging his colleagues, including Fox brass. Or perhaps Rupert Murdoch and his chief executive son, Lachlan, wanted to send a message about who is ultimately in command at the company after having been embarrassed for months with the public airing of Fox dirty laundry. Who's even listening to is anyone following? I wasn't following really the Fox Dominion debacle because it's like they settled out of court. What is there? And your guess is that Tucker wanted a bigger check and they said no. Yeah, see, that's probably more likely. Connie, call Tucker. Maybe he will get. Yeah, maybe that'd be cool. The amount of people that don't know the difference between Rogue, a makeup article like Blush, or Rogue, Rouge Rogue. I'm one of those people, I guess. That's kind of weird. Alrighty, we should start skipping the Diana comments. Hey, nerd. Yep. Tucker was fired for speaking up about January 6th. That's what I heard. That is also what I heard. RFK Jr. and Elon interviews. Tucker was fired to show others everyone is expendable. Does quit mean fired in Spanish? No, I don't think so. Okay, I like Carney. Words are difficult. Yes, I struggle with words. Words are difficult. Fox paid $787 million to Dominion. Yeah. I could see them being pissed and be on a firing spree. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's check out what else they're talking about. Don Lemon and CNN part ways. Yeah. See why they say so. They're going to give him a much nicer send-off. I hear they didn't even, according to the tweet that Don Lemon put out, they didn't even tell him. They let his agent tell him. That's horrible. Okay, CNN has parted ways with longtime host Don Lemon. The announcement Monday came without explanation and astonishment from the media industry. This is on CNN. Like, you're acting shocked, and this is your own channel. I'm confused. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family. We thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years, said CNN CEO Chris Licht in a memo to staff. We wish him well, and we will be cheering him on in his future endeavors, just like Chris Cuomo. No, I added that part. Lemon anchored CNN this morning with Poppy Harlow and Caitlin Collins. Oh, God. I cannot stand Caitlin Collins. She is one of the least likable figures on television. Anyway, the show has been on air for nearly 6 months, and she's always the victim. I hate Katie Collins. Okay, we are committed to its success, Lick said of the morning show. In a statement on his own, Lemon said his agent told him Monday morning that CNN had terminated him. I am stunned, Lemon said, arguing that management did not have the decency to inform him of his firing directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. That's a lie, Don Lemon. And here's why that's a lie. You've received several indications. Here was one indication when you went from prime time to morning. That was one indication. Another indication is when you had to leave for a day after saying that women were out of their prime. So there were several indications. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Lemon said a woman is only considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s. Co-anchors Harlow and Collins pushed back, but Lemon doubled down on his post. Yeah. See, these are the indicators that you, I guess, didn't pick up on. No indication. Even I got indication. I'm not in your newsroom, buddy. So, yikes. Don Lemon. Oh, I meant to put that away, but whatever. We'll find the next article. Don't know what this is. I just don't believe any, especially from Scamming. I just don't believe like any of the international news. But Russia's deputy defense minister is under sanctions. His ex-partner is still living the highest life in Europe. Investigation reveals. Okay. I don't really know what. Okay. On a rainy Sunday afternoon, a handful of protesters gathered outside an upscale Parisian apartment complex for freedom for political prisoners. They chant, "Down with Putin. Putin is a war criminal." Several hold signs. He makes money off the war in Ukraine. His family lives in France. Or family of a war criminal lives in Paris. What's brought them here is the Russian socialite who reportedly rents one of the apartments inside, and her other half, Russia's deputy defense minister, Timur Ivanov. I'm going to call him T.I. And Svetlana Manavoch, I'm just going to call her Svetlana, is a woman of expensive taste. I mean, with a name like Svetlana, you better be. Invite-only Parisian jewelers, couture clothing, and yacht vacations on the Mediterranean. The lifestyle isn't unusual for people in her elite Russian circle, and her lavish spending has been on display on social media and Russia society pages. But she's no ordinary Moscow high flyer. Her former partner, T.I., is a senior architect of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a man who, on paper, reportedly has an official income of around $175,000 per year. That's not very much. He's also, I mean, that is a lot for like the average person, but I don't think that's a lot to be like on luxury yachts and crap. He's also the subject of the European Union and American sanctions over war in Ukraine. Svetlana is the subject of an extensive investigation by the Anti-Corruption Foundation, investigative team founded by jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The ACF, which organized the Paris protest, alleges that it is Ivanov, and ill-gotten gains brought by his government's position that has funded Svetlana's lifestyle. There's so many hard names when dealing with stories involving Russia and Ukraine. It's real difficult. Okay. For the uber corrupt people, it's almost like nothing changed, said Maria Pavlovich, head of the investigation for the ACF, in reference to the impact of Western sanctions. Drawing on, I mean, my opinion is the Western sanctions were really terrible for America. I mean, America looked really bad because we were essentially saying our dollar no longer had value if the United States government doesn't like you. And so when the dollar doesn't have a stable value, then it just loses value at all. So I don't think the sanctions really worked in our favor. So I've got a picture for y'all. This is the nice young lady right here who is living her, look at that. Look at her with her hair and her coat and her hat and everything. Look at how wealthy she is, just like living her life. Here's all the protesters outside of her apartment. Here's her and him kissing. And that's it for the pictures. Using invoices found in her email, the ACF investigation claims, for instance, that on March 25th, 2022, as Russian missiles were raining down on part of Ukraine, Svetlana spent more than $100,000 in a top Paris jewelry store on the famed Place Vendôme. Just last month, and more than 5 months after the EU placed Ivanov on its sanction list, Ukrainian video crew caught Svetlana on camera shopping and dancing in Courchevel, an elite French ski resort. Svetlana, who also goes by Svetlana Ivanova, or whatever, the TI is the last name, as well as her maiden name. Jesus, it's like Svetlana Zakharova, I'm trying, did not return CNN's request for comment. CNN has not independently verified the source of Svetlana's apparent unexplained wealth. Her lifestyle is funded, the ACF alleges, by the grant of T.I., who holds one of the most lucrative jobs that one can have in the Ministry of Defense, according to journalists. He is responsible for construction, journalists said. So every building site that there was for Russia Army, that's his domain. his extreme wealth, his assets, including the ACS says, a historical house in one of Moscow's most expensive districts, and a luxurious dacha, has a simple. Y'all know what a dacha is? DACHA. That's a type of boat. Has a simple explanation. The answer is corruption. Corruption and specifically kickbacks. This is a system. The core concept of Russian is corrupt. And then it just goes on. Okay, so how did she get away with her luxurious European lifestyle? It's a very simple trick that they played. First, she said that Svetlana had an Israeli passport through her first husband. But more to that point, the ACF alleges that Svetlana and TI have severed their ties, at least on paper. The pair finalized their divorce in August of 2022, according to the court documents included by ACF in their investigation, 6 months after the war began, and just 2 months before the EU placed asset freezes on travel ban on him, but not her. Yet no public records show how Svetlana and TI have even begun the process to divide assets or custody, which can take years. So basically, divorced on paper, she moves, she took the assets with her, and now they're being investigated. Yeah, good story. Good story. All right. Well, let me say hi to y'all. Good morning. It is always great to see you, German lady. I love to see your beautiful face. Good to see you, Ultra Ego Wisdom. $100 for what? Well, I don't know what I was talking about. 120. I think it said $175,000 a year for that military defense leader who is allegedly exceedingly wealthy. And although I think that $175,000 is a lot and much more than I've ever made, it's still not a lot to be like on a private jet and stuff, you know, like with purchasing huge houses that are famous and stuff. Dacha is a house, I think. Thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Julia's neck. I'm pretty sure it's a fake Julia. Someone should figure that out. Yup. Okay. Alrighty. Let's move on. Let's see what else. How far are we into this? Should we head over to Fox now? Let's stay on CNN for a little bit. Help me pick a story. This is what we got. These are our headlines. We got the Tucker we already did. Meghan Trainor apologizes for her remarks about teachers. I do not care about that. I'm gonna do. She got really skinny, didn't she? It is a slow news day. Okay. Tucker, CNN, blah, blah, blah. Russia. Someone tried to travel with a golden gun. Yeah, let's check out Fox. Foxy News. Same thing. They say the exact same thing. Blinken's wife emails with Hunter Biden. Okay, let's check this out. Okay. Blinken and wife emailed frequently with Hunter Biden, raising questions about role in laptop cover-up story. Eek. Anthony, we all knew you were corrupt, but don't make it too obvious. Okay, let's read this guy out loud. Secretary of State Antony Blinken held a meeting with Hunter Biden at the State Department in July 2015. Yikes. When he was serving as the Deputy Secretary of State in the Obama-Biden administration, and Hunter was on board of the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma, according to the emails reviewed and verified by Fox News Digital. The ties between Blinken and Hunter Biden could face increased scrutiny after former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morell testified to the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committee last week that Blinken, as President Biden's then campaign senior advisor, played a role in the inception of the public statement signed by intelligence officials claiming Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop was part of Russian disinformation campaign just weeks before the 2020 presidential election. Emails from the infamous abandoned laptop that Blinken sought to discredit show that Hunter has ties to Blinken and his wife, Evan Ryan, dating back over a decade, having scheduled meetings with him while he was on the board of Burisma and Blinken was Deputy Secretary of State. In an email on May 22nd of 2015, Hunter tried to schedule a meeting with Blinken so he could get the Deputy Secretary of State's advice on some things. Advice in quotes. Have a few minutes next week to grab a cup of coffee? Hunter asked. I know you are impossibly busy, but would like to get your advice on a couple of things. Absolutely, Blinken replied. I'm just about to land in Tokyo en route back to DC for Burma. I'll be in office Tuesday on. Copying Linda in my office to find a good time. Look forward to seeing you, Tony. Hunter then forwarded Blinken's response to his business partner and fellow Burisma board member, Devin Archer. Roger, Archer responded. Several emails then followed discussing logistics. An email from Blinken's then assistant, Linda Landers, on May 27, 2015, listed Blinken's schedule for the day. I'm trying to schedule you after Tony's afternoon White House meeting. Are you available around 3:45, 4 p.m. TBC? Landers wrote. Can you come to the department for coffee and see his new digs? I should be. Let me know, and I'll be whatever is easiest for him, Hunter responded. Hunter also forwarded the response from Blinken's assistant to Archer saying, FYI. The meeting at the State Department was initially set for 3:30 p.m., but then moved to 4 p.m. on May 27, 2015. But at the time of the emails, Hunter's older brother, Beau Biden, had been admitted to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland because of his recurrence of brain cancer. Beau died May 30th of 2015, and the meeting between Hunter and Blinken reportedly didn't take place at the time. However, the meeting was later rescheduled to July 22nd, 2015, according to an emailed schedule from Hunter Biden's assistant. 12 to 1:30, lunch with Tony Blinken. Hunter's schedule read, enter at main entrance, 22nd and C Street, Northwest. Proceed to receptionist area where Kenny Matthews will be waiting to escort you to Tony's office. And it has a picture of the schedule. I'll show you here. So that's his schedule. You can see it's like pretty clear. Okay. Later that day, Blinken told Hunter in an email, it was great to see him and catch up. You will love this, Blinken wrote to Hunter on July 22nd, 2015. After you left, Marjorie, the wonderful African-American woman who sits in my outer office and used to be Colin Powell's assistant, said to me, he sure is pleasant on the eyes. Tell your wife. It's creepy and unnecessary. It is unclear what was discussed during the meeting. Fox News Digital inquiries sent to the White House, Hunter's lawyers and State Department on Sunday were not returned. It appears that Hunter first tried to connect with Blinken June 16, 2010, when he asked Blinken's wife, current White House Cabinet Secretary Evan Ryan, for his non-government email address. Can I get Tony's non-government email address? Hunter asked. I want to send him something. Thanks. Ryan, who worked at the White House at the time and later went to work at the State Department, according to her LinkedIn, then provided Blinken's personal email address to Hunter. She previously worked for Biden as his deputy campaign manager during his unsuccessful presidential run between 2007 and 2008. Holy crap, this is a long story. Okay, I'm going to definitely grab this and put it in chat. Grab this link and put it in chat. It's just such a long story. I don't want to get through all of it. But, you get the point. Hunter Biden has been speaking with Antony Blinken since essentially beyond 2010, has his personal email address, meets up with him, has coffee with him. It just looks like the rest of the article is essentially proof of all of the meetings. And in 2013, this happened. In 2016, this happened. In 2008 to 2017. Okay, in 2016, Joan Meyer, who says she was the vice president of Hunter's now defunct investment firm, Rosemont Seneca Advisors, from 2008 to 2017, emailed Schwern and Hunter saying Ryan tried calling Hunter, but his phone went to voicemail. The revelations of Hunter's ties to Blinken and his wife come amid House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan and House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner sending a letter to Blinken last Thursday notifying him that the committees are examining that public statement signed by 51 former intelligence officials that falsely discredited a New York Post story regarding Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation. In his transcribed interview, Morell testified that on or around October 17, 2020, you reached out to him to discuss the Hunter Biden laptop story. According to Morell, although your outreach was couched as simply gathering Morell's reaction to the Post story, it set in motion the events that led to the issuance of a public statement. So that's the main issue is you have Hunter Biden, he's meeting with all of these people for literally since 2010, massaging relationships. And then he has this corrupt Ukrainian energy. Why is he on this board? And people are like, he went to law school. Okay, I went to law school. And I'll tell you what, I am also unqualified for that position. Hunter doesn't speak, I don't think, any other language besides English, so I don't know why he's on a foreign board. He doesn't know anything about oil, has no experience in oil. So the fact that he's on the Ukrainian oil board, which would require him to know something about Ukraine or oil, is just weird. And then you have his laptop. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows at this point, but he went to a store, Hunter Biden did, to get his laptop repaired. And he just left the laptop there. And that's the famous laptop. From what I understand, Hunter Biden has lost now 3 separate laptops, but the main one that people think about is the one that he left at this blind man's house. Not his house, but his workshop. The worker happens to be blind. And with that, on the computer, on Hunter's computer, there's so much evidence of corruption. It totally implicates Joe Biden. It implicates his uncle. It implicates so many people. And it shows that Joe Biden was doing a lot of pay for play type stuff. A lot of corruption with foreign leaders and money exchanging hands and businesses. And So now after that laptop was discovered, then you have 51 foreign officials claiming that, oh, well, this has the classic earmarks of Russian disinformation. And Antony Blinken was one of those people. So it's just beyond infuriating. No, I've never tried crack cocaine, but thank you so much. Nice to see you. It is good to see you, disposable dad. Isn't that what all politicians do? I hope not. I hope not all politicians are that corrupt. I think Tucker decided to leave Fox because they censored him for showing the January 6th footage, disproving that it was an insurrection. Yeah, potentially. I would make a kick-ass lawyer, says Julia. I hope so, writes on. Trolls don't need to be blocked. Perfect. Okay, DFK. Why is heroin so fun? I don't know. I've never tried it, so I don't know if it is that fun. I think Tucker is going to headhunt Connie Nice. Good for Connie. Check out the laptop report from Marco Polo. Ooh, I'll definitely check that out. I will. Oh, yeah, Boots. We actually need to talk. I did speak to my aunt. I'm going to visit my aunt soon, so we'll have to deal with those papers that you were referring to. So a blind man as a computer repair. Yeah, Josh. Actually, yes. He is mostly blind. Let's see if I can find. I'll show you a picture of him. Okay. I just typed in Hunter Biden computer repair. I'm pretty sure I'll show it. Yeah, this is him. This is the man. And let's see. This is him. And he's mostly blind, which is why he always wears that hat. And yeah. Seems like a nice guy. Always wears that hat everywhere. And he is John Paul. This is him. For sure. And then let's see, vision. Blind. Yeah. DeLaguna also fired back at Lowell's claim that Mike Isaac, who is legally blind, could not have identified Hunter Biden as the person who dropped the laptop off in the store in April 2019. The fact that John Paul is legally blind does not render him unable to identify with whom he was working. So yeah, he was blind. Fun fact for those of y'all who were unaware of that fun fact. Think they'll ever apply the same level of justice that they're doing? No. Look, thank you so much for the super chat. Can't afford Starbucks, but have some 7-Eleven coffee. I appreciate the 7-Eleven coffee. And tea bag doesn't cost too much. So you covered my tea for this morning. Thank you so much. Yum, delicious. I remember Lauren's crazy walks in the morning. It was fantabulous. Yeah, I used to do walks around, and it was kind of fun. Are you a Sagittarius? No, I am a Capricorn. Speaking of Hunter Biden, his baby mama and child live about 2 to 3 hours from me. They were in court again. Once again, Hunter doesn't want to comply. I saw that. I didn't know that they lived that close to you, but I did see that she was in court again. And that was pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure we talked about that yesterday. He wears that hat because he's blind. I believe so. That's my opinion. I don't think if you could see, you would be continuing to wear that hat. Can she not read? Apparently, I do struggle with the reading front. It is a little bit difficult. It's something that they expect you to know before law school, and it's just something I was never taught. Okay, let's check it out. Let's go back to, we were on Foxy News at this point, so let's go back to Fox News. Fox News. Okay, help me choose a story. Let's look at all the beautiful headlines. Are they saying that Shaq gave her an explicit response? That would be weird. Riot police descend on state capitol as left-wing protesters shut down proceedings. Let's check this out. Riot police descend on Montana Capitol as left-wing protests shut down proceedings, reports. Riot police have... Okay, well, same as the... Okay. I hate when the first sentence is the same as the headline. As left-wing protesters disrupted proceedings in the State House of Representatives in support of transgender lawmaker Zoe Zephyr, a Democrat who was censored by the body last week, multiple reports have said. According to the Independent, an unknown number of protesters were arrested Monday when police units from the Montana Highway Patrol and the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office commenced an operation to break up the group, packing the observation gallery of the House chambers. The group chanted, "Let her speak," for nearly half an hour, according to another report, bringing the session to a halt in support ending of censure against Zephyr. Zephyr, okay. I'm going to need a sip before I continue with reading this nonsense. I'm going to gather myself. So dumb. Zephyr, a bisexual and the first transgender lawmaker in Montana legislature history, drew criticism Tuesday after telling Republicans, you tell them Republicans, during a House floor debate on amendments to Senate Bill 99, which would prohibit sex change treatment for minors, that they have blood on their hands, a notion the lawmaker hopes will be present in their prayers. Yes, she doesn't have the blood on her hands wanting to literally mutilate children. It's those silly Republicans who want to force teenagers to experience, what is it called? Puberty. How dare teenagers go through puberty? Oh, it's just so ridiculous. Okay. I need to relax. I need to relax. You need to relax, Lauren. It is all okay. You're not in Montana dealing with this lady. You're nice and safe. California, fuck. California is not safe. You will be in Florida eventually. Okay. The only thing I will say is if you vote yes on this bill and yes on these amendments, I hope the next time there's an invocation when you bow your heads in prayer, you see the blood on your hands, Zephyr said, referencing the body's opening prayer. Zephyr's comments lead the House voting in favor of the lawmaker's censure on Thursday, citing hate-filled testimony. Yeah. Let's look at this person. Have you seen? Oh, I forgot to put the article with, but you've been reading along with me the entire time. Nice. Okay, this is what the person looks like. Any more pictures? No. So I'll just go ahead. Boop that. Let me boop it. Boop it. Boop. Okay, there we go. I want to be clear, no amount of silencing tactics will deter me from standing up for the rights of the transgender community. And you know what? Like, you are allowed to censure. Like, that is a thing, obviously, in politics and, you know, state house and whatever. So they can use that. I don't like censorship I'm not a fan of censorship. I would rather this crazy person be able to espouse their crazy beliefs, and then for other people to be like, you hear that crazy person over there? Aren't they crazy? Yeah, they are crazy. And so then you have a discussion about why it's crazy. Whereas if you just censor the person, then you get a bunch of people with these stupid ideas not able to discuss it, and then getting angry together and then joining forces. Whereas let's just let them discuss their terrible ideas, and then we should point out how terrible those ideas are. I will not apologize for speaking with clarity and precision about the harm these bills cause Montana period. Montana Republicans say they want an apology, but what they really want is silence as they take away the rights of trans and queer Montanans. I don't like the silencing. Simultaneously, I don't like the mutilation of children either. So, there's that. Okay, on to the next article. Is there any articles you all would like me to read? Hey, Witchy Bitchy, nice to see you. Hey, McTrippy, good to see you here. Queer Eye for the transgender Miko guy. Yes, I love the name. I love the picture. It's all beautiful. Very funny. FBI Joey and Miko getting revoked. Ooh, yes. DFK for Justice, you need to call out. Okay. Drama stuff. Drama chat. Drama in the chat. Queer Eye. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay. Crazier when you talk to yourself. Just saying. I do not sound crazy, right? No, I don't sound crazy. No. Okay. Lauren, do you think being on Unbleached was a bad decision? No. Here I am, still living, thriving, learned about YouTube, had a good time, was bored as crap in law school, and I'm happy that I had something to do while I was in law school, and I'm also happy that I had someone to talk to while I was in law school. I was pretty lonely. I'm still waiting for character and fitness. So yeah, you have to do not only the bar, but you also have to wait on character and fitness before you become an attorney. So I'm still waiting on that. Okay, let's go on to the next article. So here's our articles available to us. I'll just display them on the screen. Biden kicks out of Oval Office while joking. Kicks press out of while joking. NYC mayor is waging war on modern U.S. diet to boost DNA ties Michigan businessman, avid golfer to decades-old family rapes. Okay, I'm between these three. What do we want? We want a one. Okay, put a chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear about Biden kicking press people out of the Oval Office. 2 in the chat for fork of the road mayor waging war on modern U.S. diet to boost climate agenda, experts warn. Or 3 in the chat for DNA Michigan business avid golfer decades old of rape. Okay, 1 for Biden Oval Office, 2 for mayor diet global warming, 3 for golfer rape. I see a 1. I see a 1. I see a lot of 1s. So we're going with 1. Sorry for the person who voted 2. Okay. Biden kicks press out of Oval Office while joking about answering.
Want to save more water during the drought? Install a smart sprinkler controller. Save a ton.
I wonder if this video is going to show the instance happening. Oh, here it is. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Yikes. Okay.
And I know you got a chance. The vice president went down to see you. I'm sorry I couldn't be with her at the time, but You know, she's standing up for her kids. She's standing up for our communities, safe communities, and democratic values. That's what it's all about. And all three of you speak so well about why you're doing what you did and why you continue to do it. And look, what the Republican legislature did was shocking. It was undemocratic, and it was without any precedent. But you turned it around very quickly. And look, we passed the most significant gun laws that have been passed in 30 years. There's more to do. What happened was that we made background checks and, legislation, so-called red flag laws. But I signed the most extensive gun legislation in 30 years. But what I'm more proud of is when I was a senator, I was able to lead the fight with Dianne Feinstein to block the sale of assault weapons and the number of cartridges that could be in a magazine. And I think we still have to do that. And but on so many issues, you've been out front, and you understand exactly what it's like. It's just tragic to see what's happening in your state in particular, in your city, but also across the country. And nothing's guaranteed about democracy. Every generation has to fight for it, and you all are doing just that. And so, we have a lot to discuss. And with that, I know they're going to be really excited, but I'm going to ask the press to leave. Thank you.
Mr. President, why do you like our
So I get to answer your question.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stay tuned.
That's so embarrassing. Trump would have never done that. Trump would have answered the gosh. And also, yes, I do have YouTube Premium. That doesn't mean that I get no commercials anywhere on the internet. That's not how YouTube Premium works. Just because I buy YouTube Premium, that doesn't mean Fox News stops giving me commercials, okay? Okay, I'm glad that we settled that. Okay. All right. The White House press corps was kicked out of the Oval Office by President Biden on Monday as he joked about sending another 4 years answering their questions. Biden sat down with two members of the group called Tennessee 3 state representatives, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, Democrats, to discuss their recent experience of being expelled from office after taking part in and leading a disruptive protest in the state capitol. After condemning Republican state leaders for voting to expel Jones and Pearson, Biden told the press to leave as they began their conversation. I know you're going to be really excited about it, but I'm going to ask the press to leave. Biden said, as the press was being escorted out of the room, multiple reporters shouted questions regarding the plans to run in 2024. Mr. President, why do you want 4 more years? One reporter asked. So I get to answer your questions. Well, you would think you would be able to do a little bit of that within the first 4 years. Another reporter questioned, why should Americans give you another 4 years? Stay tuned. Oh my God. You just want to smack him. You just want to smack him, don't you? Is it just me? I just want to smack him. Okay. Well, let's head over to those other articles before I smack him. Smack. Okay. This was the second most reported one, so let's get asked for articles. So let's see how this is not YouTube. You see how this is different than YouTube. This is called Fox News. So even though with YouTube Premium, okay, I'm getting it. Whatever. Okay, climate warriors are waging war on modern American diet. Crackdowns on beef and dairy products. Brett, you better not get in between me and my dairy products. Oh my God, I love dairy. It's not even funny. And also beef. When I'm craving beef, if somebody's like, no beef for you, I'd be upset. Author Mark Morano said Monday, firing back at Democratic New York City Mayor Eric Adams after he announced an effort to push plant-based meals citywide. Quote, first they came for your energy, then they came for your gas-powered cars, your freedom of movement, your cheap flights. Now they're coming for your food. Morano, author of The Great Reset, Global Elites, and the Permanent Lockdowns, said on Fox News Tonight. Last week, Adams and other city officials announced that they would begin cracking down on food production and consumption in an effort to curb greenhouse gas emissions and boost their climate agenda. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection released a so-called greenhouse gas inventory as part of an announcement highlighting the carbon footprint of the city's main sectors, including the food industry. Quote from Adams, "We already know that a plant-powered diet is better for physical and mental health. I am living proof of that." But the reality is that thanks to this new inventory, we're finding out it is better for the planet. Oh my God. I mean, it's just not true. Like, vegetarians kill as many, if not more, animals with their diet because, so for instance, maybe I'll find the article later, but a lot of bees are dying because the majority of bees are farmed, and then when they farm them, they rent them out during peak seasons to people who farm like plants like avocados and rice, and then they bring the bees back and forth, and it causes the death of about a third of the bee population every year. Now we're like running out of bees, but whatever. Who cares? Who cares about that? We're just going to say it's better for the environment because we want it to be, even though it's not, and it tastes worse. Okay. Adams' push is likely the first step in a more aggressive campaign to target beef productions in New York, Morano warned, adding that Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, yikes, reported status as largest individual farmland owner in the United States could help spread the initiative nationwide. They will be monitoring what you eat. What's coming next are the restrictions, Morano said. We are already seeing it globally with a net zero commitment. They're going after high yield agriculture, trying to collapse them. We saw the disaster in Sri Lanka. You also have Bill Gates, America's #1 single farmland owner, and his goal is to get us to eat his billions of dollars of invested in lab-grown synthetic beef made from stem cells of animals and literally put in a steel vat and printed on a 3D printer. Not making that up. The fix is in. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I like to eat meat. I love cheese and dairy and all of that. I love all of that. That being said, if you told me you could make like the perfect filet mignon on a 3D printer and like get all of the marbling correct and all of it and make it super, like the perfect amount of fat and lean ratio, I don't think I would mind if it's synthetic. I don't think I would care. Like if it tasted identical. Now, if it doesn't taste, honestly, I don't know. Then I of course I hate Bill Gates. I want to continue eating the cows and all of that, but if they could make a perfectly good filet, like a fake filet, okay, put a 1 in chat if you agree with me, put a 2 in chat if I'm wrong. So that was my cake. This will only happen if we allow it. They are going after our modern diet. You will eat nothing and be happy according to this plan. Morano said the fact that some countries are considering having cows wear masks and diapers to contain their methane emissions is indicative of how crazy the climate activism has become. Facts. Scientists are out there say methane is completely overblown as a greenhouse gas, #1. I mean, my opinion is global warming literally doesn't exist at all. This is crazy, he continued. What this is a revolution of the powers that be. They are always looking for a reason why the rest of us can't be free. Now they're going after rice production. There's a bigger story in the major media about rice causing all of this global warming and emissions, but going after meat is a way to make everything a problem in the climate of urgency. Therefore, they have to be in charge of all this food. They're not going to try to ban it. They will take over the means of production so the rest of us don't destroy the earth. We have to be managed. That's what we are looking at. Oh, scary. Scary. So let's see what y'all say. I didn't get any. Okay, we got some 3s. I only got a 3. That was the only. None of y'all voted. None of y'all voted. So I don't even know. Am I crazy? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. If we can reinstate. Clip it and Diane. Okay. A few people are asking if we could reinstate Manda, clip it, and done, etc. I have no idea what you're asking. I have no idea what the words you are saying. Henry is asking me to do something, and I don't know what that is. What was the question? I don't know. I was reading something in the back. I don't know. Any train derailments this week? I'm sure there were. Nothing crazy in the news that I saw, but keep in mind, as we spoke to that train expert on my show when we interviewed him on the interview side, he says there's about 1 to 3 train derailments per day, and that was really normal. I don't know how to do a poll. No one has taught me how to do that. I don't know how. So, no, I cannot do a poll. I have asked multiple people to teach me. I have had put the link in back chat. I have had people on stage who claim to know how to do it, but none of them have walked me through. Link, why are you going to make a poll? No, we're not doing it this early. That's true, President Trump. Can you get? Why does DFK need a link? We're doing the morning show. No, I don't think you're out to get me, but at the same time, it's a morning show. What do you need a link for? We don't do links. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Henry. Show me how to do the polling thing. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if it just doesn't let me on my computer or what it is. I don't know. I do not know. So it is easy, Lauren. Come on, you passed the bar. Watch the video. Okay, alrighty. It doesn't really make sense because there's multiple different, like if you do it on your phone versus your computer versus your iPad, there's all these different. It just confuses me. So no. We're gonna move on. Henry's here. Okay. So we're gonna watch him explain how to do it. Wait, go back. Do that again. I didn't see it. Okay, there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're learning together. We are learning together. Lauren Inception. Oh man, I was waiting for all the Laurens to do the same thing, but okay. That's cool. Now we know how to do a poll. Look at us learning together. I don't have those buttons. Can't post. I swear to God, I don't have the same buttons as you, Henry. I don't. So even though you just showed your screen, you just showed me, I do not have those. That's why it's confusing. Because every format has different. That's like not okay. All right, we're moving on. DNA ties Michigan business. Okay, let's do it. Let's move on.
Fred Smith here told us the B&H photo helped change his life.
Oh, yeah? Is that true? Did Fred Smith tell you that? Okay. DNA ties Michigan businessman, avid golfer, to decades-old fairway rapes. Yikes. Let's pop this backstage. DNA on a coffee cup has linked Michigan businessman to a pair of decades-old rapes on golf courses, including one on Penn State University campus, authorities announced. Kurt Allen Ryman, 51, of West Bloomfield, is charged with sexually assaulting a woman at the Twin Lakes Golf Club in 1999, the Oakland Charter Township, and a jogger on a Penn State University golf course in 2000. Yikes. In the first incident, Relma allegedly attacked a woman working at a food stand on the course. An unknown man came through the back employer door, demanded she take off her clothes, and then sexually assaulted her. That's terrifying. Let me show you a picture of this man. So this is what he looks like. That's scary. 9 months later, on July 27th, Rema allegedly struck again, asking a 19-year-old woman who was jogging near the 18th hole of the blue course at Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania, for a Band-Aid, and whenever she knew the way to the clubhouse. When she tried to leave, he allegedly held a knife to her throat and dragged her into the woods, punched her in the stomach, and raped her, according to the court papers cited by Law and Crime. Authorities obtained DNA evidence from both rapes, which were uploaded to the combined DNA index system, but there was no hit to the suspect. In July 2021, the Sheriff's Office and Penn State Police collaborated on the cold cases and decided to giving cutting-edge DNA technology a try. They sent evidence to the Parabon Nano Labs for genetic genealogy testing. The discipline combines genetic analysis and geological research and to find matches in public databases. Once a DNA sample related family member are identified, public data and other clues are used to build a family tree. Stop doing 23andMe! Jesus, unless you want your mother, your brother, your sister, and your dad to get caught. In the case of Rema, DNA investigation started with distant relatives from the 1700s and eventually narrowed to the potential pool of suspects to 3 brothers. Investigators quickly zeroed in on Relma because he lived near the Twin Lakes golf course and his brother was attending Penn State at the time of the second rape, according to the court papers. Authorities began surveilling Relma and obtained a discarded coffee cup with a sample of his DNA earlier this year. It matched the DNA left by the perpetrator in both cases. Sunbury County First Assailant District Attorney Sean McGraw said at a press conference to announce the charges in Pennsylvania. Bouchard said Relma, who owns his own construction business, has no prior criminal record. He is an avid golfer and apparently plays golf all over the country, the sheriff added, saying there could be other victims out there. In Michigan, Relma had been charged with first and second degree felony criminal sexual conduct. In Pennsylvania, Relma will be charged with felony court rape, sexual assault, and aggravated indecent assault. If convicted of the top charge, he faces up to life in prison. He's being held without bond. Good. Nice. Let's get his face on screen one more time. Why don't we? While I go and get that link. Y'all, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, please. If you're new here, we do this every morning. At least we try. It's a new thing. Henry is goat. This is facts. We'll leave this right here. He is literally a goat. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to stop eating the papers and everything for our work and just to focus. But he's goat, so yeah, so we do this. Click like and subscribe. There's 40 people here, so there should be at least 40 likes. What else? We do the interviews. We do Law and Order. We're always looking for people to come on Law and Order, so make sure that you fight a bitch and then tell us about it. Make sure you do that. Make sure you start arguments and then bring them to Law and Order. Okay, let's check out what we have only done. So usually on this show, we do CNN, then Fox, then BBC, and then we just like bounce around. Right now, we've only gotten to Fox thus far. I think we're on our last one for Fox, but let's head over to the BBC now. Okay, more about Biden running for president, because obviously that's huge. So that's going to be everybody's. Yeah, older Americans weigh in on Biden's age. Yikes. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hopeful disappointment and uneasy Democrats on Biden. William secretly settled hacking claim courts here. Oh my gosh. More global warming BS. Iran protests, secret committee punished celebrities over dissent. Okay, let's check this out. Iran formed a secret committee last year to punish celebrities who backed the current anti-government protest, leaked documents seen by the BBC show. In a letter dated 22 September, just 6 days after the unrest began, the committee sent the Economy Ministry a list of 141 well-known figures. It told the ministry to investigate their tax returns and take unspecified action against them. The list included football legend Ali Dai and top actress Taraneh Al-Dusti. These are among dozens of artists, sports people, and social media influencers who have faced economic sanctions, travel bans, or detention over the past 7 months after supporting protesters' calls for basic freedoms. Demonstrations spread rapidly across the country following the death in custody on 16 September of Mahsa Amini, a young woman who was detained by morality police in Tehran for allegedly wearing hijab. Oh yeah, that was huge. Y'all remember that? So this woman, she didn't wear her hijab, and then she was put in custody, and she later died, and there were mass protests. Women were burning their hijabs in the street. I mean, it was really crazy. Hundreds of people have died and thousands more have been detained in a violent crackdown by security forces, which have portrayed the protest as foreign instigated riots. That's like actually protesting when you know that you're likely going to either die or go to prison if you protest and you still protest. I mean, BBC Persian obtained 3 documents through Middle Eastern intelligence source that reveal how the government took swift and coordinated action in an attempt to deter celebrities from not following the official line. The letter dated 22 September announces decisions by the so-called Celebrity Task Force and identifies its chairman as the Minister of Culture and Islamic Guidance, Mohammed Mehdi Ismaili, who has been sanctioned by the European Union for allegedly committing serious human rights violations. It says the Economy Ministry has been instructed to look at the tax returns of 141 well-known figures perceived by the committee to have played an important role in fueling the unrest and to implement anticipated restriction according to the law, as well as Ali Dali and Taraneh Al-Dusti, 2 celebrities who were arrested on December after condemning the execution of a protester and released on bail 2 weeks later. The celebrities on the list included filmmaker Asghar Farhadi, a bunch of names. I'm not even going. And former TV host, other name. The letter does not give details about the restrictions they face, but one of those named on the BBC Persian Instagram influencers was threatened by officials that if they continued to support protests, they would have to pay taxes on all the income they received from their online activities, which would amount to a significant sum. 2 other individuals confirmed that their bank accounts were blocked after they expressed support for the protest. Another document marked as top secret and dated 26 September says that Celebrity Task Force has been renamed the Celebrity Committee and made permanent. It also says that committee's responsibilities have been divided, with the Culture and Intelligence Ministry dealing with artists, singers, and media personality, and Sports Ministry and Revolutionary Guards intelligence agencies taking over sports people. The document warns that any decision regarding the celebrities should be made in a way that minimizes costs and maximizes benefits in controlling disturbances and supporting the principle of the regime. Yikes. That's scary. Yeah, I think y'all are making fun of my reading skills this morning. Need more voice inflection? Alrighty. Good morning, bless your heart. Good morning, Joe Cool. Joe Cool, I really want to interview you. I think you're fascinating. I would like to set up that interview. You could always email Henry, the producer. Yeah, I think you're cool. I think you're cool. Okay. Well, let me grab this link for y'all, put it in chat. Okay, let's grab another story, shall we? We shall. No, shan't. It's like my dad's favorite line from Devil Wears Prada. Damn! Holy crap, hold on. Could you imagine being executed over cannabis? 2 executed, so he hasn't even been executed yet. Oh my god, this is bound to happen. Yikes. Let's check out this story. Singapore to execute man over cannabis charge. Singapore is set to hang a man for trafficking cannabis in the state's latest controversial execution. Activists say that Tongaruj Supia was convicted on weak evidence. Authorities say he received due process and have scheduled his execution for Wednesday. It follows a high-profile execution last year of an intellectually impaired man over drug charges. Singapore has some of the world's toughest anti-drug laws, which it says are necessary to protect society. In recent days, his family members and activists delivered letters to Singapore's president in a last-minute plea for clemency, while British billionaire Sir Richard Branson has called for a halt on the execution and a review of the case. I know that my brother has not done anything wrong. I urge the court to look at his case from the beginning. Tangaru's sister, Leah Supia, told reporter at a news conference. Tangaruju, I cannot pronounce his name. Tangaruju, 46, was convicted of abetting and engaging in a conspiracy to traffic over a delivery of 1 kilogram of cannabis from Malaysia to Singapore in 2013. Oh my God. Though he was not caught during the delivery, prosecutors said he was responsible for coordinating it and traced 2 phone numbers used by a delivery man back to Tangraju. Tangraju claimed that he was not the person communicating with others connected to the case. He said he had lost one of his phones and denied owning the second one. Singapore laws mandates the death penalty for drug and trafficking and has lesser penalties for couriers. And Tongju's last appeal, the judge agreed the prosecution that Tongju was responsible for coordinating the delivery, which made him ineligible for the more lenient sentence. Activists have also raised concerns that Tongju was not given adequate access to an interpreter and has had to argue his last appeal on his own since his family was unable to secure an attorney. Singapore authorities say Tongju's request for interpreter only during the trial and not earlier. They added he had access to legal counsel throughout the process. Sir Richard, who was previously criticized in 2022 execution of intellectually impaired man, said that Tongju's case was shocking on multiple levels. In a blog post, he said, Singapore may be about to kill an innocent man on the back of more than dubious circumstance. The death penalty is already a dark stain on the country's reputation. I don't know about that because we have the death penalty here in America, but it's very constitutionally restricted. That's another interesting thing that we never talked about yet. Florida recently made it so that you can be sentenced to death for child's SA and child R. But I'm pretty sure when I went to law school, I was taught by a really crappy professor constitutional law, but I do remember from that class that it was considered a violation of the 8th Amendment to sentence people to death for why do you need the link? What could you possibly need the link for? Yeah, from my understanding, it was unconstitutional to sentence someone to death. It was a violation of the 8th Amendment for sexual assault, even that of a minor. But apparently, according to the federal constitution, but according to something that I read, Florida made it legal. So I don't know. But I don't think it's necessarily a dark stain just to have the death penalty. But if you're not if you're not restricting the death penalty the way the Constitution does for America, then yeah, I would think it would be an issue. So dark stain on country reputation and execution following such an unsafe conviction would only make things worse. Rebutting his allegations, Singapore's Home Affairs Ministry said his claims were untrue and accused him of disrespecting Singapore's judges and our criminal justice system. It said the death penalty was an essential component in a multi-pronged approach that has been effective in keeping Singapore safe and secure. Kristen Han, a spokesperson for the Singapore anti-death penalty advocacy group, the Transformative Justice Collective, said the government did not want to appear to buckle under pressure. But she added, of all things that Singapore punches above its weight for on the international stage and at the UN, defending its right to murder people in the name of its citizens is not something we should be proud of for being outstanding on the international stage. Singapore's strict rules stand in contrast to some of its neighbors' recent moves. Thailand has legalized the trade of cannabis, while Malaysia has ended its mandatory death penalty for serious crimes. Speaking to reporters on Sunday, Tongju's family members said they were able to meet him from behind glass partition at the Changi prison after his notice of execution was released last week. He put up a brave front for my mother because he does not want her to break down, his niece said. He has mentally prepared for this day to come. He does feel that there is a great injustice and he'll be executed for something he did not do. His family said they would continue to press for reforms in Singapore's legal system, even if he ends up being executed. If such injustice happens to my brother, I wouldn't want it to happen to anybody else, so I will continue to fight, said his sister. Yikes. Yikes, yikes. That's so bad. That is so bad. Okay. Well, I think that is all we really have time for. Let me check Z chat. I will scroll up again. Obey the law and you won't get murdered by the state. No, like, I do agree. I would move, like, for instance, if those were the laws of my country, I'd probably move out of that country. Yeah, obey the laws. But if you're choosing not to obey the laws, maybe move to a country with less harsh punishments. Someone go get another panel link and send it to DFK, please. How about no? Because this is not a panel show. Joe Cool, imagine Reagan, Peabody, and Lauren being co-host to each other. That'd be cool. I'd be down. Joe has a Southside Chicago laugh. I know, right? I know because my mom had the same one. Him and Slyish make me think of her fondly. Rest her soul. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Oh, well, I'm glad that Joe Cole reminds, when you hear his laugh, that you get to think of your mother fondly. That's always really nice. No, this is not a link show. I'm sorry. Next time we do a link show, you are more than welcome up. Okay. Marijuana was job security for entire Lower Kangaroo. That's so true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I know. Getting rid of all the panel link would be love. You know what? Why don't we just, should we throw the panel link in there for the last 5 seconds? Is he even here? Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't really care. I think I'm awesome. I don't care if y'all don't. If y'all want to troll me in my chat, at least you're here. At least you're giving me views. So thank you, Diane and Amanda. I'm going to take it. Yes. Yeah. So let's just do some announcements. Once again, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We have a couple of things going. So we have the Lauren DeLaguna morning show. We are looking for better names. So far, the only name we've heard is Lauren in the Morning, which I kind of like, but I would like to hear some more names as well. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. It's good to see y'all here. It is good to see you here, STL. I think DFK would agree. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, another thing is I am going on a show with over 4 million subscribers, and that's going to be next Tuesday. And I have all of my information for my members only. So if you want to know what show that is, you have to be a member. But I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a couple of hints. It's one that I'm sure, even if you don't know the name of the show, you've seen clips of the show going around Twitter. Michael Knowles has been on this show before. Just Pearly Things has been on this show before. So I'm pretty excited to do it. If you want to know what that show is, you can become a member and look it up, or you could just guess based off the hints that I gave you what show it is. Yep, Michael Knowles. Me and Michael Knowles have been on Jerry Springer. That's what it is. Yep. Open a panel after if you want to chit chat, Henry, and you have a good thing. I don't care who. Yeah. We're not gonna. That's a good idea. We're not gonna do a panel afterwards. I need to take a shower and get my day started. But anyway, this is a great way to end it. Thank y'all. Click like and subscribe. It really helps. And have a great morning. Bye.